Welcome back, dear students. Today we are going to discuss the continued concept on bacterial diseases. In previous classes, we have discussed about the first two diseases. That's that the first one is that typhoid, the causative agent of typhoid. That's that Salmonella type. Second one, we have discussed about the pneumonia. Pneumonia, the causative agent or pathogen, it is nothing but a Streptococcus pneumoniae or Diplococcus pneumoniae or Haemophilus influenza. Like that, in yesterday class we have discussed the two bacterial diseases. Same we continue the today's class, the third bacterial disease, that's called as a plague. This is having a historical way, this plague. Now we are going to find out the vaccination. That's why it becomes very rare. It is only to the conditions of the endemic conditions. Means it is restricted to the particular areas. But nowadays, it's almost all rare cases it will going to happen. Why means we find out the antibiotics. That's nothing but a treatments. Starting only there is the vaccinations are going to find out. So that's why this disease is becoming rare, but you must be remember this is also one of the deadliest diseases that time before diagnosing the treatments. So that's why come dear students, today's class we discuss the little bit idea about the plague. What is the pathogen? What is the causative agent of plague? That is called as a Yersinia pestis. Must be remember the pathogenic name. What is that? Yersinia pestis. Yersinia pestis, it is commonly called a Enterobacterium. What is this Enterobacterium means? That should be a affected part where it is going to store in our body. It is enteron cavity. Enteron cavity means that is the gastric cavity. It must be present in the stomach, or it must be present also in the migrate to the intestinal regions. So that's why in that area it going to almost all present and starts to infected the person. So that's why it is also nothing but a enterobacteria. Then which organ is going to affect that? The affected part should be a lungs is going to infect it. Lungs infections. Next, blood vessels. Blood vessels, that arteries and veins. These are becoming affected. And next, lymph glands. Lymphatic system. That system we know that is the immunity systems. That lymphatic system, it's having the lymph glands are there. Those glands are becoming swollen. These are becoming enlarged. How much these are enlarged means these enlarged up to the chicken eggs. That much it become as a swollen. When that person will be infected by the plague or infected by this type of the bacteria, that is called as a Yersinia pestis. Those parts, first part is lungs infection, second one is that blood vessels, and next one is that lymph glands. Those are becoming swollen. Next, how it will be transmitted? It will be transmitted, it's spread by animals and insect bites. Animals or insect bites, contact with contaminated fluids or tissue. So if the animal or anything or insects flea bites, we must remember as a small flea. It's almost smaller than the mosquitoes. That fleas are present in the animals. That's the animal dangerous particles is there now. Through that we are going to get this type of the bacteria. What is that bacteria? Yersinia pestis. It will be transmitted, spread by animals, insect bites, contact with contaminated fluids and tissue part, by touch also. If you have infected persons, if touching also, it becomes a spread because it is a animal danders. That animal danders skin eradicated part easily it will be transmitted. That's why it is contact with the contaminated fluids or tissue. Then what are the symptoms? How we going to know? How we diagnose? We are getting this type of the bacteria inside our body. Then there is some symptoms we going to occur. Those symptoms are nothing but the first one is almost temperature will be rises. That's we know that fever. Next, same chills. It going to happens. Next, slowly headache will came. After that, the whole body muscle aches are formation takes place. Muscle aches nothing but it is a muscle pain. The muscular regions are getting the more pain. So in that way, we are going to get the chills, fevers and headache and same that is I told you na swollen lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are swallowed and these are enlarged up to the chicken eggs. After that, the coughing. When you are coughing, it came as a blood. In the cough, the blood will go into releases. That type of the coughing will going to happen due to the enter of this bacteria. What is that? Yersinia pestis. And what is the treatment? Treatment already I am going to tell you. We are going to find out the vaccination for this one. And here in medical treatment is goes on through the antibiotics. These antibiotics, anti meaning against, biotic meaning life. Against the life means if we are in risk of disease, then easily we are going to get this type of the antibiotics. Then these are against to spoil those bacteria which are enter into our body. So that's why antibiotics play a very important role in the against this type of the disease. What is that disease? Plague. And you must remember the first antibiotic. The first antibiotic is called as a penicillin. This is discovered by the scientist Alexander Fleming. In the Second World War, American soldiers is going to wounded. That time he will be find out the first vaccination. It is in the form of antibiotic and that is called as a penicillin notatum. So this is the idea about the third bacterial disease. What is that? Plague. Then come the next bacterial disease that is called as a diphtheria. Diphtheria. In Kannada we are going to call diphtheria but a gantala. So gantala mari like that. So it became affected to the almost all throat regions. So that's let's think about first which pathogen is causing for this disease. That pathogen name is called as a Corynebacterium diphtheriae. Corynebacterium diphtheriae, it is an causative agent of diphtheria. Then organ affected. Which organ affected? It affected to the nose part and nose nothing but a completely that respiratory region. Directly it comes to the tracheal region, nothing but a throat. Nose and throat are become severely infected by this disease. Which disease? That is nothing but diphtheria. Diphtheria is affected to the nose part and throat part. Okay. In the throat, the backside of the throat is become completely blackish. If it is affected, that much of dangerous it going to affect it to the throat regions. Then how it will be transmitted? How it will be spread? It spread by airborne respiratory droplets when you are going to cough or sneeze. If the infected person cough or coughing and sneezing takes place, then these aerosols or these bacteria enter into the air. Then if we are going to inhaling, then immediately they are enter through the nose and they are stored in the which part? They are present in the throat regions. There only they are going to start to infect it. So that's why it is also spread by saliva when the kissing takes place or shared drinks. We are going to drink, sharing is going on. If the infected person drinks that water, then any other person is drinks same, it will be easily infected to that guy also. So that's why you must be remember about this type of the infectious diseases, how these are spread. Like that. Yes. Then come to the next one, symptoms. If it is affected, if diphtheria is going to cause me, then what are the symptoms? The early signs. Like that, early signs are nothing but a sore throat. Throat is completely become dry, and backside of the throat is become completely blackish colors in the inside. In that, next one is that fever. Slowly we are going to get the body temperature is high, fever. Next, swollen lymph nodes, lymph glands, lymph nodes, lymphatic system, lymphocytes. These are all present in the lymphatic body systems. In that, the lymph nodes is also becoming swollen. Next one is that weakness. The body is become almost all pain. Then we are getting the weakness. And what are those treatment? Same treatment we are getting to the plate. That same treatments are nothing but antibiotics and antitoxin. Here toxin meaning poison. What is that? Poison. Toxin nothing but it is a poison. Against to that poison, that is nothing but a antitoxin and antibiotics type of the tablets or injections is there. If we get in primary only, then it will be easily diagnosed. It will be diagnosis first, and easily we are going to get the away from this type of the disease. What is that disease? Diphtheria. Like this, you must be remember the diphtheria and plague are also a bacterial diseases. Then dear students, in the bacterial diseases, we are discussing the 4 types of the diseases. The first type is that typhoid, second type is that pneumonia, and third type plague, and fourth type, what is that? Diphtheria. If they ask you for the 5 marks, you must be explained like this. And must be remember in the CET level, they are asking pathogen name, causative agent name. You must be remember in those aspects how to write and which one is very important to hear. And in typhoid, there is the one test is there. The confirmation test for typhoid fever. What is that test? Viral test. That is very important for 1 mark question. Must be remember that test name. What is that test name? Viral test. And remember, you must remember diseases and their pathogens. And if you studied as how to transmit it, where these are present, where it will be affected, then it will be very clear. So this is the complete ideas about the which diseases? Bacterial diseases. In next class we are discussing about the viral diseases. Okay, thank you.